Hi everyone, it's Krista and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're not new, hi again. So this is my channel. I love to make all types of DIYs on a budget. I love to do thrift flips. I also love to make wreaths, and I also love to make DIY Dollar Tree projects. So if you like what you see here, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. Also, leave me a comment. I love to hear what you guys think, and give me a thumbs up. That helps my channel. You could also find me on Instagram, Pinterest, and TikTok. And I also have Krista's Wreath Design Shop. It's an Etsy shop. Today is all about fall. Hello, fall. And our hosts are the Rusted Willow, DIY from House to Home. And I am your co-host this month. So excited to do this. So more about that in a minute. But first, to DIY number one. So this first DIY, I'm going to take some of the pumpkin color by Waverly chalk paint, this little doorknob that I got from Hobby Lobby, some of this ribbon that is actually the, I don't know what you would call it, aluminum? No, probably, yeah, aluminum, but it's metal ribbon. And what I did is I took some of my antique wax and that pumpkin color, and I mixed them together because I wanted to come out with like a little bit of a rust color, but have some orange in it. So what I did is I'm using my little sponge dauber that you can also get at the Dollar Tree, and I'm just dabbing the ribbon, that metal ribbon. Now I did cut these into, I believe they're either 12 or 14 inch, but you can make them as big or as small as you want. But I cut 3 strips, and then I came back in with my coffee bean color by Folk Art, and I just dabbed a little bit of that as well, just to give it a little bit more darkness to it. I wanted this to look really rustic and old and worn. And then what I did is I took this knob from the Dollar Tree and I just turned it around. I took it all apart and I turned it around so that that knob piece that's underneath the knob is like facing in the other direction. And then what I did is I just took all my ribbon and kind of put them together like ribbons, you know, and just kind of curl them upwards together. And then I had to make the holes a little bit bigger on top so I could fit my knob through the top of these. So just be aware of that. And I just used my wire cutters to do that. And then once I got it through all of them, I'm trying to make it look like a rustic pumpkin. Now I saw this on Pinterest and I thought this was a really cute idea, and I absolutely loved it. Now they made theirs a little bit different. I did add a little bit more to mine. But then once you get it all in there, the little knob, what you want to do is put that little bolt back on the back and screw it on real tight so that your knob stays put. And then you just kind of fix your little pieces the way you want them. So next, I needed a little stand for them to stand on, for it to stand on so it wouldn't wobble over, because it was kind of top heavy with the knob. So what I did is I took the little sponger and that paint that we mixed, I used that to one of these wooden leaves that you get from the Dollar Tree in a package. And I just painted that, and then I just put a whole bunch of hot glue on the bottom of that, and then I just glued it on top of it. And now it's going to sit real nice for me. So next I took some of this Spanish moss and I just glued that to the bottom and the inside. Now you don't have to do this. This was just extra that I decided to do. You could leave it as is, or you could even put a candle inside of it. I saw some people do that, but I decided to use some Spanish moss and I glued it to the bottom. And then I also glued it around the edges where we glued that little wooden leaf down to hold it up with. So that's what I did there. And I'm just using my little finger protector so I don't burn my fingers, which I did anyways. But anyways, I just put around the edges as well. Then I took this little pick that I got from Dollar Tree. It's just a little greenery pick. It's for fall. And I stuck 2 pieces of that inside of our little pumpkin. And I think this turned out so cute, you guys. I love the rusticness of this. It's so farmhouse, so rustic. and it just turned out so cute. And then I took some berry garland that you get from the Dollar Tree, and I just wrapped it around a pencil so it would look like a little coil that comes out of the top of the pumpkin. And I also took a couple more clips of this eucalyptus branch, I believe it is, and I just took tiny pieces off of it, and I glued that to the top as well underneath the little knob part. And then I also glued those little coil pieces that we made with that berry ribbon, and I just glued those to each side as well. And then the inside, I just felt like the greenery wasn't enough, so I ended up finding this pick that I had. Isn't that cute? I found this pick that I had of these bigger berries from fall from last year from Hobby Lobby. So I just took a couple off of there. They're kind of like in a cluster anyways. And I just stuck that in the center of my 2 green pieces. And there it is, you guys. Look how cute this is. I absolutely love the way this turned out. You guys got to let me know which one you like the best in my description, in my comment section below. So yes, today is all about Hello Fall, and these are your hosts. I will have their links down below. I'm your co-host. Thank you so much for having me. And there also will be a playlist with all of the ladies down below as well. So next, we're going to take some of this fabric that I got from Hobby Lobby last year, some fabric from Dollar Tree, those embroidery hoops, some raffia, some of those sticks from the Dollar Tree, and we are going to make these really cool pumpkins. So the way that you use these, in case you don't know, is you just take the smaller piece, put it underneath your fabric, and then take the top piece, once you put your fabric on top of that, and you just push it down, and that's what makes it really tight. And then you just screw that top piece in really tight, and then you go around, and I just cut around as close as I could on the back to cut that fabric off. So these came out so cute, and I saw this on Pinterest too, and I get a lot of my inspiration from Pinterest. So I love and also from other ladies who are on this on Instagram and all that too, but these I thought were so cute. So I used that one for that material for the middle one, and then the 2 side ones I'm going to be using this fabric from the Dollar Tree, which I also loved. They've been coming out with some really great fabric lately from the Dollar Tree, and what you do is you put the smaller piece on the bottom, and then you put that top piece over the top, and then you just screw it real tight, and that's what holds in your fabric. Super easy to do, and this makes such a cute decor piece. So next, I just took those 2 pieces that I used that Dollar Tree fabric with, and I glued those together. And I made sure I got a lot of glue there, because you're not going to see it anyways, because we're going to put that top one in the middle, and just to make sure that it stays really, really good. And now I'm going to glue in 4 different spots where the wood touches the other 2, and I just put a little bit of glue there in those spots, and then I glued that one right on top. And I just made sure everything was kind of flush so that when it stands up, it'll stand up nice. But we're also going to be using something else that I found that I wanted to use too, so you'll see it in a minute. But next, I took these sticks that come in a little bag from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to use those as my little stumps on the top of my pumpkins, and I glue those to the front of each one of those. And you could make this one big pumpkin too, but I decided to do 3 smaller ones. So this was just super cute. I just love the way it turned out. And so I stuck those to the front, and then we're going to take some of those leaves from the Dollar Tree that come in the package there, and I'm going to use some of those, and I'm going to glue those in the front. And I'm just using those, and also for decor purposes, but also to cover those pieces of metal that you see at the top of our little hoops as well. So I just figured out which ones I wanted to use, and then I just kind of glued like 3 or 2 on each one of these. And I just glued them down with a little piece of glue, little dabble of glue, and that was it. And then what I was going to do is I was going to use raffia, but I changed my mind, but you absolutely could use raffia if you want to. I changed my mind and I ended up coming in with Spanish moss. And I use that to cover the top part where those leaves are being glued down and our stump is for our pumpkins. And I thought that worked out a little bit better. And I liked it. It just looked a little more rustic to me. So that's what I used. And I did glue down some of those. Yeah, so here is the Spanish moss. So I just cut a little piece off. And then I just glued it over the top like that. And just like, just a whole bunch. And I just kind of formed it the way I wanted it and glued it down. And then I did that for all three. And then after we get through gluing those down, I didn't end up using the raffia at all. But now that I think about it, I wish I would have. But I used this autumn sign that you see at the Dollar Tree. They have them all the time. And I'm going to glue our pumpkins on top of this sign. And this were the perfect colors and everything, so I didn't need to paint it or do anything new to it. And then I decided to come in with these little barrels of hay. Oh my gosh. And I glued that on the front. And then these little pumpkins that I've had in my stash for like ever. And I glued those on the front as well, just to give it a little extra something in the front. And these turn out so cute. And I love the Hello Autumn on that as well. It just went together so well, you guys. But you guys gotta let me know which one you like the best down below. So now on to DIY number 3. This one, I took 3 of these oval wood pieces from the Dollar Tree, some more some more Spanish moss berries, and also some eucalyptus again, and some of that pink, oh my gosh, this spiced pumpkin from not Apple Barrel, sorry, Folk Art paint. And this is an acrylic paint, and I just used my sponge and I painted all of these that color. So all 3 ovals I colored. I painted front and back. I can't talk, you guys. I'm so sorry. I'm coming down with a cold and I'm just like fumbling over my words. I apologize. So then I'm using some of that pink that we used in the beginning with the metal pumpkin, and I'm using that to kind of like accent around my oval pieces. So I just wanted them to kind of stand out a little bit and make them a little bit more rustic. So I just used like not really super dry brush, but sort of dry brushing, and I did it just around the edges of each one of those pieces, just so they kind of like, stick out and you see them more, and it just gives them a little bit more character and a little something. So then I took some of the wood glue by the Gorilla Wood Glue, and I did that and hot glue together. And I glued those together, let it set, and then I glued the next part on top. And there is our pumpkin, guys. That is the beginning. And then what we're going to do is I decided I wanted this to be standing up. So I took some of these Jenga blocks from the Dollar Tree and I just sandwiched 2 of them together like this. And I did 3 sets of those. And then what I did is I painted them with that spiced pumpkin again, just so everything, matches. And we're going to glue those to the back so that our pumpkin will stand up. So I also used some wooden glue and some hot glue to glue these down to the back, because I wanted to make sure that they were going to stay and not fall apart. So that's what I did. So I glued the middle one first, and then I glued the other 2 on both sides. And that's going to help our pumpkin stand up. And then I took the little stump again from the Dollar Tree that comes in those packs, those sticks, and I put wood glue and hot glue for that as well. And I stuck it to the back. So there it is. And then I'm going to take these leftover leaves that I had, and I'm going to stick those on as well. And these also came in the pack from the Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to stick those on and just make a little leaf cluster at the top of our pumpkin. And then we're also going to take some of that Spanish moss like we did with the other one, and we're going to stick just a bunch of it on the front And I also stuck some of it on the back too. So like that stump wasn't sticking out so much and looking like weird in the back. I don't know, just that stuff bothers me, but you didn't have to do what I did. But I went the extra step and I did put some of this Spanish moss on the back of the pumpkin as well. See, I just had to do it, you guys. I don't know. I'm just weird like that, I guess. But yeah, I just stuck it on the back just to kind of cover it up a little bit and make it look like it was flush back there. And then, of course, I took my pencil again and some of that berry twine, and I just coiled it around my pencil, cut it off, and we're going to stick those on the top of our pumpkin as well. And then we're going to take some of those really nice leather signs that they have at the Dollar Tree now, which I absolutely love these signs. They say thankful, blessed, grateful, and I took one of the darker colored ones and I stuck it on the front. And yeah, I love these leather. These leather signs are so awesome. I just love these. So I just put some hot glue on it and just glued it down to the front like so. And that was it for this DIY, guys. And that is it. So make sure you go check everyone else out, you guys. Let me know which one you like the best down below. I will have the playlist, the hosts, everybody's channels down below. And I want to thank you guys all for watching. And as always, remember, stay crafty. Bye.